Hello guys, my name is Desmond and I welcome you to my lesson for today. Ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, we'll be looking at this type of questions where you're required to solve for the value of x. Okay, so this is the type of equations where you've got some exponents that you need to work out in a special way. So ladies and gentlemen, please do make sure that you listen very carefully, and most importantly, there's no need for you to write as I explain. Okay, massively important, ladies and gentlemen. So for now, you can just watch this lesson for the first time, watch it for the second time, trying to understand, and lastly, ladies and gentlemen, watch it for the third time where you write some notes where necessary. So guys, I'm hoping to solve all of these questions under this one lesson. And again, for those of you guys who are not aware, I do more of this type of problems on my WhatsApp live lesson where I'm able to share my mini chalkboard here, ladies and gentlemen. So you are able to participate in that lesson and again instantly ask questions in relation to topics that we'll be doing on that particular lesson. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, without any waste of time, let's now start with our very first question. Okay, so I'm just going to take away all of these questions and bring a clean board. So guys, I'm hoping that everyone is able to see. So let's now start with our very first question is 3 to the exponent x plus 1. We also have 3 minus 1. All of this equated to 18 divided by 27. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, when you're given this type of questions, you're mostly interested in trying to dissolve these terms. Okay, for example, you've got the whole of that, you've got the whole of that, and you know, ladies and gentlemen, you can differently write this term where it's either you expand it or you write it in reverse, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not really sure in terms of the best explanation, but let me start with the first step. That's when you will now understand exactly what I mean. So ladies and gentlemen, we've got 3 to the exponent 3 multiplied by 3 to the exponent 1. So ladies and gentlemen, there's a lesson that I did where I teach the basic maths rules. So that includes all the types of exponents that you might be given, where I teach how to expand those exponents. Okay, so in case if you haven't watched that lesson, you can just go to my website www.solvingexampapers.co.za. That's where you'll be able to find that lesson under either grade 10, 11 or 12 under mathematics. You should be able to find that lesson. Otherwise, if you're failing to find a link to that lesson, ladies and gentlemen, you can just drop me a message or comment. If you're watching this lesson on my YouTube, I'm going to surely give you a link which will directly take you to that particular lesson that I'm talking about. So ladies and gentlemen, minus 3 to the exponent x multiplied by 3 to the exponent negative 1. Okay, so remember guys, remember there's that rule which says a to the exponent m multiplied by a to the exponent m. So this is a to the exponent n multiplied by a to the exponent m. It's equals to a to the exponent n plus m. This is one of the rules, ladies and gentlemen. So that means you can either be given an equation in that form or in this form. what matters the most is for you to notice that you've got common bases. Okay, so when you multiply common bases, you add the exponent. It doesn't matter whether you've got 3 to the exponent n multiplied by 3 to the exponent m, ladies and gentlemen. What matters the most is that the bases are the same, which is 3, so you can just write one base and you add the exponents. Okay, so in that case we are given that in this form. Okay, so we can just rewrite it in reverse, ladies and gentlemen, or otherwise if it's given in that form, you can write it in whichever way in order to help you solve that particular problem. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, I'm just going to remove all of this information and continue with the question for the day. So remember guys, this is equated to 8 divided by 27. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, the reason why we had to expand that is because we wanted to take out 3 to the exponent x as common factor, because we've got a term there separated by a sign, we've got a term there, so that means on the left side of the equal sign, ladies and gentlemen, we've got 2 terms, and in each of those terms we've got a common factor, which is 3 to the exponent x. So ladies and gentlemen, we remain with 3 to the exponent 1 minus 3 to the exponent negative 1. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, I'm just not sure if we are all on the same page, but I assume so far, ladies and gentlemen, it makes sense. Okay, so guys, remember this is equated to 8 divided by 27. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, how about remember the whole of this, it has been given as 8 over 27. Okay, so let's work out this inside the brackets. So that means we've got 3 to the exponent x. You can just punch the whole of this on a calculator, ladies and gentlemen. So let me just quickly punch that on a calculator. So you can just say 3 minus 3 to the exponent negative 1. Let's see what we get. We get 8 over 3. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, we're getting 8 over 3, which is equals to 8 over 27. Okay, can you see? So ladies and gentlemen, the main aim is to remain with 3 to the exponent x equated to something. In that way, we know we want to remain with x on this side of the equal sign, all the numbers on this side, and try to work out the value of x. Okay, massively important, ladies and gentlemen. So now let's divide both sides by 8 divided by 3. Okay, let's divide by 8 divided by 3. Okay, so the reason for that, ladies and gentlemen, is so that all of this cancels and you remain with that 3 to the exponent x. So all of this you can just punch on a calculator, ladies and gentlemen. Whatever number that you get, that's what you write over there. Okay, so now let me bring my calculator and try to punch all of that. So it's 8 over 27 divided by 8 over 3. So ladies and gentlemen, I'm getting 1 over 9. I'm not really sure if you also got the same answer, so you can just pause the video and try to punch that on a calculator. So remember guys, remember, this is the same as 3 to the exponent negative negative 2, ladies and gentlemen. Let me just explain that. So obviously this is the same as 1, which is that 1 over 9, which is 3 squared. Okay, so remember guys, you want to break down these bigger numbers into the smallest numbers. Okay, so what guides you is that 3. So you're most likely to have 3 to the exponent something, of which to break down that 9, you can just use that 3 as a guide to say 3 to the exponent 1, 3 to the exponent 2, 3 to the exponent 3, until you get 3 to the exponent something, which gives you 9. In this case, we know 3 squared is equals to 9. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't end there. It doesn't end there, ladies and gentlemen. When you have 1 over something, is the same as that something to the exponent negative, that power. For example, if we have 1 to the exponent 7, this is the same as 7 to the exponent minus 1, ladies and gentlemen. You can punch this on a calculator and convert it to a fraction. This is what you get. Even if you say 1 over y, this is the same as y to the exponent negative 1, ladies and gentlemen. If you have 1 over p squared, okay, so this is the same as p to the exponent negative 2. Okay, so obviously the power is 2, that's why you've got negative that same power. So there, ladies and gentlemen, power is 1, so that's why you've got that base to that exponent, which is that base and that exponent, but a negative exponent. Okay, same applies here, ladies and gentlemen. That's why I'm saying the whole of that is the same as 3, which is that base to the exponent, that 2, obviously as a negative number. So now that you've got the same basis, ladies and gentlemen, they fall away. Okay, if you've got the same basis, the rule says you can equate the exponents. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, I'm not really sure if so far if so far we are on the same page, ladies and gentlemen, but I think let me just try to think of something. I'm not really sure, ladies and gentlemen, if all made sense, but from what I'm thinking, ladies and gentlemen, I think I didn't confuse you guys in any way. So ladies and gentlemen, that means this is our final answer for x in that case. So ladies and gentlemen, if you want to prove if your answer is correct, that's where I invite you to join my WhatsApp lessons, because not only do I teach you how to find the correct final answers, ladies and gentlemen, I also teach you how to prove if your final answer is wrong or correct. Okay, there's a very special way of doing that, ladies and gentlemen, so it won't be we won't have enough time to cover that in this lesson. So for today's lesson, let's only focus on solving these problems. It's just a few problems, ladies and gentlemen. I've got a lot of them, so that's why I'm saying please do try to reach out so that we do more of this type of questions. So ladies and gentlemen, 2 to the exponent x minus 5 times 2 to the exponent x plus 1, the whole of that is equals to negative 1, 4, 4. So guys, as just like they say, the previous question, let me just try and check if that one, okay, there. Just like the previous question, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just going to copy that down to say it's 2 to the exponent x minus 5 multiplied by 2 to the exponent x plus 1. The whole of this is equated to negative 1, 4, 4. Okay, massively important, ladies and gentlemen. So now, in this case, guys, in this case, can we try to simplify or expand that first term? It seems like we cannot further expand or simplify that part. What about this one, ladies and gentlemen? We can expand or separate that 2 to the exponent that and that to the exponent that. Okay, so that means our first step, ladies and gentlemen, how about we say 2 to the exponent x minus 5 multiplied by 2 to the exponent x multiplied by 2, obviously there to the exponent 1, it's equated to that. Remember guys, remember 2 to the exponent x plus 1 can be rewritten as 2 to the exponent x multiplied by 2 to the exponent 1. Why, ladies and gentlemen? Is because the bases are the same, you add the exponents. Okay, so that means writing it in this format is actually the same thing. But now, why did we have to write it that way, ladies and gentlemen? That's what I want to show you quickly. Remember, with this type of questions, ladies and gentlemen, if you do many of these type of questions, you already know before you even get to the final answer, you already know in terms of what's your first step, where to start, and again in which direction you'll be heading. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, in this case it means we've got that as common factor. Can you see, ladies and gentlemen? So that 2x or 2 to the power x, it serves as a guide in terms of what we are trying to achieve by extending or expanding this side. Why did we have to do that, ladies and gentlemen? It's because we wanted to take out 2 to the exponent x as a common factor. Okay, so obviously we remain with 1 over there. Okay, minus, ladies and gentlemen, 5 multiplied by 2, obviously to the exponent 1, of which it might not be necessary to write the power of 1. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, whatever that you do on this step, if you were to go back to that step, it has to take you to exactly that step. So obviously if you say 2 multiplied by that, it gives you that. If you say 2 to the exponent x multiplied by the whole of that, so you still have 5, you still have 2 to the exponent x, which is that one, you still have 2 to the exponent 1. Can you see, ladies and gentlemen? So you just took out that as common factor. Okay, why did you have to take out that as common factors? Because you wanted to work out this to remember this is 10, so it's more like it's 1 minus 10. It gives you negative 9, still equated to negative 144. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you fully understand that part. Okay, so let's divide by negative 9 on both sides. Why dividing by negative 9? Is because we want that to cancel so that we remain with 2 to the exponent x. Now you can punch all of this on your calculator and check what answer you get. So it's negative 144 over negative 9. No, I mistakenly punched 19. It should be negative 9. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, I'm getting 16 as an answer. I'm not really sure if you also find the same answer. So ladies and gentlemen, can we now try to expand that? So it seems like we've got 2 to the exponent. So guys, if I say 2 and try to find the exponent whereby it takes me to 16, then I'll be very close to getting the value of x. Why did I specifically chose 2? Is because the base on this side is 2. So I want the bases to look the same so that I drop the exponents. Okay, so I'm going to try and say 2 to the exponent 1 is 2, 2 to the exponent 2 is 4, 2 to the exponent 3 it's 8, 2 to the exponent 4, this is what gives me 16. Okay, so this is what I do quickly on a calculator to say 2. I just edit the exponents until I get to a number that gives me 16. So that means 2 to the exponent 4 is the same as 16. So now that the bases are the same, I can drop the bases and equate the exponents, okay? Which means x it's equals to 4, ladies and gentlemen, okay? So now we are completely done with this question. So let's now move to the next question. Remember, guys, in case if you need to learn how to prove if your final answer is wrong or correct, you know exactly what to do. You can just comment if you're watching this lesson on my YouTube channel, then I'll surely assist you guys. So now, ladies and gentlemen, we're remaining with the last two questions, as you can see. So now let's do that question, ladies and gentlemen. It's not really a complicated question, but if you have done more of this, you will already know exactly what to do. So we've got x minus 3x to the power half, and this is equated to 4. So ladies and gentlemen, this is an interesting question, okay? So guys, what's your first step in that case? So ladies and gentlemen, this cannot easily be expanded. This also, you cannot simplify that 3. This is to the x to the exponent half. This is equated to 4. What a tricky question, ladies and gentlemen. But in this case, because of that power of half, it forces me to say that x is the same as x to the exponent half multiplied by x to the exponent half. I'm not really sure if you agree with me on that one, so let me just quickly show you guys. X to the exponent half multiplied by x to the exponent half. Remember, according to my explanation, it means since the bases are the same, you add the exponents. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, what is half plus half? Half plus half is equals to 1. Can you see? Which is the same as x, which is that x from the original equation. Can you see? So that means I'm correct, ladies and gentlemen, in doing this. Then you can say minus 3x to the exponent half. This is equals to 4. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, remember, I've just explained to you that as you do more and more of this type of questions, it becomes easy for you to know where is the starting point. Okay, there's no any other way. Let me say there's no any other easy way of teaching you this stuff other than advising you to do more of this type of questions. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, remember, I've got a list of this type of questions whereby if you do all of them, you'll be ready to do any type of this kind of problems. So ladies and gentlemen, this is where you can say let k be equals to x to the exponent 1 over 2. Another one may say let x to the exponent 1 over 2 be referred to as k. We just choose k, ladies and gentlemen. You can choose any letter. You can choose this to be a or b or c or any letter, ladies and gentlemen, up to a z. Okay, so obviously you can't choose x because letter x is already used on the original equation. Okay, but for now let's use k. So that means where you see x to the exponent half, you substitute k. So I see k there. I also see another k there, minus 3. I see a k there, and all of this is equated to 4. Okay, so k times k, ladies and gentlemen, this is the same as k squared minus 3k. Can you see? Because of that squared, then it gives me an impression that we've got a quadratic equation. So I'm forced to transpose that 4. Remember, it changes the sign. It becomes minus 4. Then it's equated to 0. Okay, can you see? now I've got a quadratic equation. Because it's already equated to 0, then it means I can find the factors. Okay, so let's factorize. Obviously, we've got k and k, so that when you say k times k, it gives you k squared. You must be having 4 and 1, so that when you say 1 times that, it gives you 4. Okay, so in terms of the sign, ladies and gentlemen, obviously it becomes negative for that bigger number and then a positive for that smaller number. This is so that when you say k times that, it becomes negative 4k, that times that is positive k, then it gives you negative 3k or minus 3k. Obviously, guys, that means k is equals to negative 1 for that. Then you can say, oh, k is equals to 4. Okay, so obviously it changes the sign. You equated everything to 0, you solve for k. So ladies and gentlemen, that means, remember, k is equals to x to the exponent half, which is equals to negative 1, and again x to the exponent half is equals to 4. Remember 4, I think, okay, for now let me not expand or explain that part, because I still need to show you something on this side of the equation. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, remember guys, because of you've got the bases which are not the same and can never be the same, you can just say not valid. Or maybe I think one may even say not applicable. So that means in this case you cannot solve the value of x. Okay, reason to that, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's because obviously the bases are not the same, and for that reason, ladies and gentlemen, for that reason you won't be able to you won't be able to easily solve for the value of x. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, let me just quickly finalize this question. Remember guys, this is where we are now. We need to we need to remove that power. So what if we say x, remember this is to the exponent 1 over 2. What if we multiply the exponent by 2? Remember, whatever that you do on the left, you must also do on the right. So it's more like you multiply by 2 over 1, which is just 2. That's why I said 2 over there. So you also do the same there. Okay, why? Is because you want this to cancel so that you remain with x, which is equals to, you can just punch the whole of that on your calculator, ladies and gentlemen, and see what answer you get when you punch the whole of that. Okay, so let's see. I'm just going to pull out my calculator and say 4 to the exponent 2 is equals to 16. So ladies and gentlemen, that means the x value for that question is 16. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, I hope you fully understood that part. I'm praying that no one is getting confused, but remember guys, before I start with any lesson or do additional questions in relation to that type of a question, I allow my learners to ask some questions, okay, so that at all times we are on the same page. So ladies and gentlemen, let's now sort out the last question. Okay, not that much complicated. If you've got an experience of solving this type of questions, ladies and gentlemen, you won't struggle to know your starting point. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, very, very much important, guys. Very, very much important that you fully understand the type of an equation that you're given. Okay, so guys, you can just try to think about this type of questions, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, you've got that 9 over there, and you want to write it such that you've got the smallest base of 9. And you've got that 3, you see 3 there, so it sort of serves as a guide, ladies and gentlemen, that you can say 3 to the exponent 1, see what you get. 3 to the exponent 2, that's when you're getting 9. So the whole of that is that 9, and that exponent has always been there. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, remember, 1 over 3 is the same as 3 to the exponent -1. I've explained that, ladies and gentlemen. And again, you've got that part of SATs over there, which means this is the same as 3 to the exponent 1 over 2. I'm not really sure if I've explained to you, ladies and gentlemen, but on my previous lesson, I've always been saying this is the same as 10 to the exponent 1 over 2. Where is that 2 coming from? Where is that 1 coming from? Remember, we've got 10 to the exponent 1. Okay, so this is that 1. Where is that 2 coming from? So ladies and gentlemen, there's always a 2 there which is not written. So when you say square root of 7, it's more like you're saying 2 square root of 7. So that's where that 2 is coming from. Unless if you say 3 to the exponent 7, that's when we say 7 to the exponent that 1 there over that 3 there. Okay, otherwise, if you've got y to the exponent let's say px, okay, that's when you'll understand this even better. So it is that p as the base, it is that x over there over or divided by that y over there. Okay, so that means only when you have a square root of, let's say, a p, this is the same as p to the exponent 1, which is that 1 over there, then 2. So we don't need to write that 2 over there, but you must know that 2 is there. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, remember, I do this type of lessons on some of my lessons where I focus on teaching that type of information in detail. Okay, so obviously guys, to remove the brackets over there, you've got that, obviously that times that, which is 2x. So you therefore have 3 to the exponent. You can now add the exponents, okay, to say -1 plus half. I think on a calculator, ladies and gentlemen, you might find that you're having a -half. Okay, obviously it's more like 1 minus half, but in that case, be careful of the sign. So to be safe, punch -1 plus, which is that plus half, and tell me what you get. It should be -1 over 2. Okay, so now because the bases are the same, means the exponents are equal, or you can equate the exponents. So I think you've got something similar to that, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so guys, obviously you can just divide by 2 both sides. Why? So that those 2 cancels, you remain with x is equals to -half divided by 2. Obviously this is the same as multiplied by 1 over 2. I'm just using my mathematical knowledge here, ladies and gentlemen. That times that, obviously it's 1 over that times that is 4. So that means the x value, it's equals to -1 over 4. Okay, but for you not to be confused by that step, just punch all of this on a calculator and you should be getting -1 over 4. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed this lesson as much as I did, and thanks very much for joining, guys. I'm hoping to see you on my private WhatsApp lessons. I think this is that time where I would like to say, ladies and gentlemen, a day without learning something new, it's a day wasted. So please do make sure that by the end of each and every lesson that I conduct, you learn something new. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, my name is Desmond, and I'm out.